Welcome to WWP Clips. This is the official Clips channel for We Want Picks. We will be uploading our individual fight breakdown videos here, so make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss any of our content. And as always, go to wewantpicks.com/bets, sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners, make a deposit, and we send you $50 as a thank you. Next up at UFC Vegas 58, we have the main event of the evening. We have Rafael dos Anjos taking on Rafael Fiziev. Rafael dos Anjos is 31-13 overall, 3-2 in his last 5, coming off a short notice win over Renato Moicano. Rafael Fiziev is 11-1 overall, 5-0 in his last 5, coming off the KO win over Brad Riddell. This fight has been booked and rebooked a few times, and I'm excited for it, especially now that we saw Rafael dos Anjos murder Moicano. Rafael dos Anjos or Rafael, I got to get my H's and R's correct in this fight. H for the Brazilian. Rafael dos Anjos is the former lightweight champion of the world, and he missed his massive payday, if you remember, when he pulled out against Conor McGregor, and that's actually what set up Conor versus Nate Diaz, so I guess thank you for that. But he's an incredibly well-rounded guy, but he is a grappler at heart. He's developed clean striking with some solid volume, and that tricks people into thinking he's going to strike with them, and then he just works in his grappling. It's easy to say that he's 3-4 in his last 7, but look at who he lost to. Usman, Covington, Leon Edwards, and Michael Chiesa, and all of those losses were at 170 pounds. In that same time span, he did beat Kevin Lee, Paul Felder, and now Renato Moicano. Rafael Fiziev is a phenomenal striker. He's got traditional Muay Thai style. He's got incredible power, lots of volume, and he mixes in his punches and kicks really well. And what else would you expect from a striker as high level as him? And he is the Tiger Muay Thai striking coach. So the striking coach at one of the most well-regarded striking gyms on the planet. He just put away Brad Riddell, who's also a fantastic striker, but Brad was able to take Rafael down one time, and that lowered Rafael's takedown defense from 100% to 95%. His cardio seemed to hold up in that Brad Riddell fight, but the fight before that against Bobby Green, his cardio was not there. He gave up an entire round. He was so gassed in that fight. A lot of people, including myself, picked Fiziev to win this fight the last time we broke it down. But then we saw dos Anjos in the cage, and he dismantled Moicano. 5 takedowns, 179 strikes, and 13 minutes of control time. And I also want to point out 2 things. One, I want to remind you that this is a 5-round fight. Fiziev has had cardio issues in the past with 15 minutes. This is 25 minutes. I have to imagine he's going to be sucking a little bit of wind, especially if RDA works in the grappling. And 2, if we go all the way back to 2016, the only people that beat RDA were able to take him down. The only fights he's lost since 2016 were because of takedowns. And he doesn't have a single loss in 6 years where he wasn't taken down. He has not been finished in that time span. Rafael dos Anjos' inactivity and injuries, that's what worried me in this matchup the last time we broke it down, but he answered those questions with that Moicano win. Fiziev does have questionable cardio. He's going to be smaller. I don't see him initiating takedowns. I don't know why he would do that against RDA. And RDA just happens to be ridiculously durable, so I like RDA in this matchup. As I'm saying this out loud, I'm realizing how many freaking underdogs I have picked on this card, but I like him in this matchup. Plus 170 odds. I got a money line bet on him, but I recognize how insanely powerful and dangerous Rafael Fiziev is, and that will be nerve-wracking, but I got to go with the tried and true vet here. I'm going with dos Anjos. What do you think, Jakey boy?
There's 3 things in my mind that kind of stick out in this fight. Number 1 is these odds are super disrespectful to RDA. Super disrespectful. Number two, I think Fiziev's takedown defense is underrated as a whole. I think a lot of people that are picking RDA, and I'm not saying that you are one, but I'm saying a lot of people think, oh, RDA is just going to take this dude down and control him. I think his takedown defense is underrated. Number three, I think that Moicano win is very inflated because that was like super short notice for Moicano. And I know that he came out and dominated that fight. He did exactly what he should have done to a short notice opponent. But Moicano kind of blew his load in the first round, said, let me just try and get this dude out of here. And then it was just a complete domination. I mean, they were talking about the corner should have stopped the fight, this and that. Hats off to RDA for doing what he needed to do, but that was a super short notice fight for Moicano. My pick for this fight is going to be Fiziev. Am I scared for it? Yes. I think that this is pretty much a pick'em fight because RDA is tough. He has the experience. He has the wrestling. If he's able to get the takedowns, he can definitely win this fight. Fiziev is just so dynamic as a striker and so dangerous that in those entries, he's going to have the answers for those questions. It's just whether he's going to have enough answers for enough questions that RDA brings. Meaning, is RDA going to be able to keep the pressure and keep coming before? Is he going to be able to keep coming before getting knocked out? If he's able to keep doing that and withstand the knockout shots from Fiziev, he can definitely win this fight. Fiziev, regarding his cardio, he's a guy that talks about, I train harder than anyone. Nobody trains harder than me. It's not I don't train hard enough and that's why I get tired. It's I love fighting. He talks about it, especially in that Bobby Green fight, because I think that was the biggest question mark, was the third round of the Bobby Green fight. He was sucking wind, and Bobby Green looked fantastic in that third round. But Fiziev basically said, like, I train harder than anyone. I have the cardio to do it. It's just I love fighting so much. When I get in there, I just go, and I go, and I go, and I need to learn to pace myself. It'll be very interesting knowing that this is 5 rounds. If he comes out and isn't himself, right? Because a lot of his success is because he is that guy. He is that guy that throws hard, that throws big pressure, that throws those big shots. And if he comes out and tries to pace himself, and RDA is able to work through those shots because he's not throwing the big power early, now all of a sudden you didn't throw that power early, you didn't throw that volume early, and you're still tired because you were taken down by RDA in the first, second, third rounds, and now you definitely don't have anything to give, and you don't have anything to show in the first 3 rounds because you weren't doing it. So it's going to be interesting to see Fiziev's game plan coming into this, because he does train hard, but if he gets caught up in those moments where he's throwing hard and all of a sudden he's gassing and sucking air, he's going to be in big trouble. If you're RDA, you can't stand in front of Fiziev. That's why a lot of people just stand in front of him, and that's where they get caught. You have to be all the way in. They talk about all the way in or all the way out. You have to either be real inside of him, trying to take him down, or you're going to be in big trouble. So to wrap this all up, my pick is Fiziev. I think he's able to find the shots that he needs to find to withstand the takedowns from RDA. I think his takedown defense is underrated in that regard. But I don't like the odds. I might look for the 5.5 on Dos Anjos. I think it's or the plus 5.5. I think it's minus 200. I think the value play is definitely in Dos Anjos because of the odds the way they are. But my pick for the fight is going to be Fiziev. But I don't love it, guys. I don't love it. But he is going to be my pick.
Yeah, I mean, definitely a close fight. Should be a pick'em. I think the general public agrees this should be closer to a pick'em. Even people confident with Fiziev probably agree it's not a 2-1 type spot. So I've already got that money line bet on Dos Anjos. I don't know which way this line's going to move. It could go. I don't know, because all the arguments are valid. Fiziev is a killer, but Brad Riddell was just put out again. And maybe that takes a little bit away from Rafael putting out Brad Riddell. Like, oh, Jalen Turner also put him out. It's hard, it's hard to say what's going to happen to this line. But I'm on RDA, you're on Fiziev, but we both agree this is a close fight. And DraftKings, I'm definitely going to have RDA in my lineup.
Yeah, I think he might be in mine too. And people were talking about maybe this being a double-up play. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that, maybe. But I think that RDA is probably the best value on the card. And watch him like get knocked out in the first round or something after that. But that $7,200 is really good value for a 5-round fight on a guy with the credentials in wrestling with RDA for sure.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, obviously. And he can obviously get flatlined in the first 5 seconds with somebody like, Fiziev. So this is a dangerous fight. It's a fun fight. What are you laughing at?
That was good. No, your comment. That was good. Hats off.
Well, anybody who's not in the comments section, somebody said, how could you guys pick Dos Anjos? He's 40. But I had his age on the screen. It literally said 37. So in the live chat, I said, can you not read? His age is right there, and it's not 40. And he said, well, obviously he's almost 40. And I said, well, 3 years, I can't imagine how long you tell people your shkuvats is. You're just adding 3 like it's no big deal. Anyway.
I think that's a good number to add. If you're going to add 3 is a good number.
Yeah, I bet.
Like when I add 3 inches, like I tell
height.
people I'm 6'3". Yeah, I tell people I'm 6'3". I add 3 inches to my
you tell
to
people
my height.
you're 6
Tell people
foot.
I'm 6'3".
That's way more than 3. Anyway, $7,200. I love Dos Anjos in my lineup, but listen, if you guys are positive that Fiziev is going to knock him out, which it's a hard thing to be positive about given the slate of people that have not knocked out Dos Anjos, spend the $9,000. I'm not going to do it. And then Monkey Knife Fight strike line 98 to 121. Ah, damn, man. 121 strikes from Fiziev can do some real damage. I don't know what to do with this Monkey Knife Fight strike line. I'm not going to touch it. What do you think?
I think it's a more. I think these boys get after it.
Yeah, you know what? I might go look at that. Well, Bobby Green didn't threaten takedowns, though. I'll have to look a little bit at Fiziev's numbers because I obviously he's going to be defending takedowns more than he's ever had.
He's had some offensive takedowns in some fights as well. It'd be interesting if he came out and shot a blast double just to throw off RDA.
I always say wrestle. Why wait? It's easier to finish a takedown than it is to defend one. And, 100%. RDA is a phenomenal
we've been wrestling our whole lives. We get it.
Absolutely.
We get it.
RDA is a phenomenal BJJ guy, but, it's not 2001. You're not throwing triangles off your back anymore. That doesn't matter anymore. Now it's all about control,
I'm convinced.
Control, position, scrambles. Anyway, you guys want 50 free bucks? You know what to do. WeWantPicks.com/bets. Sign up with any one of our 5 betting partners. Make a deposit, and we send you 50 bucks as a thank you. Do you have any last words for the people before I hang this up and go nurse my hangover?
No. I think that the lock of the week video tomorrow. It's I think I picked 4 or 5 underdogs, but I don't really love anyone for lock of the week. I know you're on some. We're really actually really split this week.
One of us is going to have a miserable week,
and it's not going to be me. So I'll tell you that. You've already started off your week a little bit miserable, and I'm looking good. Nothing feels as good as how good I look. I'll tell you that.
Okay. All right. Anyway, guys, thanks for hanging out. Join the free Discord. We don't charge for it. It costs nothing. Go there, share your picks, share your bets. Let's all work together to take money from the man. The link is in the description. We'll see you guys later this week for the rest of our content.